Hello, everyone. My name is Paris Dobbins, and welcome to another edition of the Good News Theater. Today, we have a special show for you. We have a guest. Her name is Natalie Brown. She is a credit repair consultant, and she has some information for you. Welcome, Natalie.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. I tell you, Natalie, when I went to your seminar, I was thrown back. I was like, I gotta get her on TV so the community can see what she has to offer.
Awesome.
So, how did you develop a passion for this?
It just came out of nowhere, honestly. I've always been in the healthcare industry, so this whole switch was different.
Sure.
I just know that one day I do a lot of research, and when I start to do research, this clicked to me. And it was more so repairing credit. So I do a lot of research on that. And I started to find this is something that I really, really became to love. So I started doing a little repair of my own, on my own credit. And it excited me because the results spoke for itself. So it was about 4 years ago that I wanted to go to a seminar, something of what I did, but it was in Texas. And the whole process of going and spending that money to fly and then to stay over for the couple of days was very costly. And I had someone say to me, you can do this yourself. And I doubted that. I didn't think I could. And I tried it myself. And when I did it, like I said, the results were amazing.
Wow. That's awesome. So you just, out of nowhere, you just said, let me just start repairing my credit, and then it just kind of sparked something in you. You said, you can help others.
Well, it actually started, the name Credit Clinic came from somewhere. So clinic was close because I worked in the healthcare field. I have a brother named Nicholas.
Okay.
We call him Nick. He passed away, unfortunately, but me and him always spoke about doing credit repair and me helping him with his credit repair and how he was going to be a better person. And we came together with a thought that we were going to start our own business doing this. And the name Credit Clinic came along with the clinic, and it has his first name in there, N-I-C-K. So it's not the regular C-L-I-N-I-C. It has the N-I-C-K in representation of him.
Wow.
So that's how that actually started, because I told him, you got to get yourself together. People of color, we have a hard time moving forward because of credit and the lack of knowledge. So he was on board. And unfortunately, he passed away. So it took me some time to come up with a name, and I wanted to do it, and I was stuck for a long time. And then finally, I started reading this book. It's about female mechanics, and it had clinic in it. So I just pretty much said, let me try to put the two together and figure out how I can make my brother part of this.
Certainly.
And I did, and I was able to incorporate his name. So that was an amazing feeling when I was able to do that.
That's quite a story. I mean, it's amazing how things can, get you started into a lifelong venture. And that's a great story. So what are some of the services that you can offer that most people can't do themselves?
So I always tell people that they can repair them credit themselves, but it just takes a lot of time. And when I say time, you want to invest your energy into learning the laws that work for you. We have the Federal Trade Commission, we have the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and the way how this works is for you to learn, study, and understand the laws so that you're able to apply it when you are in the repair process. A lot of people don't want to take that time to educate themselves because it didn't just happen overnight. You have to learn the laws, study them, read them, and be able to know when to apply them when you need to. So my services that I do, I help try and get rid of some of those late payments, or help people rebuild, because a lot of damage happens and when you are at your worst state, and you have no choice but to keep adding more debt to yourself, but they don't know how to get out of it. What people don't know is that a lot of information on your credit report is inaccurate too.
Okay.
So you can actually have a file combined with someone else's file, and that's reporting on your credit report, and you don't know that. And that can be a factor of why your score is so low. So then I look into these things when I look through someone's credit report, and I find these inaccuracies with them, of course, and we work at getting these things off.
How does it happen when someone else's information gets onto your credit report?
So what happens is we have the three major credit bureaus that people are somewhat familiar with. We have TransUnion, we have Equifax, and we have Experian. And we know that Equifax just had a major breach where millions of people's information was hacked by cyber, culprits. So what happens is they have a system, and they take your last name, and then they take the first couple of letters of your first name, and then they start to create a file. Then they take your address, maybe a social security number, something very similar, and then they create this profile on you. But what happens if you have John Smith and another John Smith with the same middle initial, but maybe their birthday is one day apart? Those two people now become one. And the credit bureaus don't realize that that's two separate people. And the credit bureaus do not go out of their way to fix the errors.
Sure.
So
Okay.
you need to look at your reports consistently to make sure, one, that you're not having that identity theft, or two, you're incorporating someone else's lifestyle that's not even yours, but everything you're doing is being dictated by what's on your report.
Okay. That's very informative. Like I wouldn't have known that until I hear you've told me, because as you said, we don't want to take the time to do our own research and our own credit repair and the follow up and the turn downs and so we do need someone diligent like yourself who is willing to do those things. All right, so my other question I have for you is, besides improving one's credit, do you think being a woman of color, a business owner, can also benefit the community? Natalie?
Absolutely. I guess we were taught maybe to stand down and let the male take more of a responsibility of just your household. So it just may be fear that hold a lot of females back to say that they can't do things. But I'm here to let people of all nations know that the process may be hard and it may take you a little bit longer, but don't ever get discouraged,
Yes.
because there is light at the end of the tunnel and you'll see progress. That's what happened with me. Unfortunately, mine happened a little faster than what I expected it to. But I feel that when you're out there speaking something positive, that's going to help families, you have the younger ones that'll pick that up and say, I want to help people too. So it's more giving that role model play to someone that doesn't have someone to look up to say, I can be what I want to be when I grow up. I don't have to just be in the norm. I don't have to just be in the box that I'm placed into. So I never foresaw myself of being an African American that owns their own business. I never, if someone told me that, I wouldn't believe it. But you have to believe in yourself
Years
first.
ago, right.
Right. You have to believe in yourself first to have that drive, that passion in order to succeed. So I think it's definitely a benefit, me of color, coming from, just a background of, like I said, healthcare, and then now branded themselves to own their own business.
Yes.
So
If someone told me that you did, I'd believe him. I would believe it for you, Natalie.
thank you.
You're a very savvy woman. You are, and I tell you, very powerful. After watching your seminar, I was convinced. Like, I'm going to let you help me with my credit, because I have credit issues. I'm not afraid to say that.
And everyone does, but the thing is, people become embarrassed by this stuff, and they shouldn't. Some people, they fall onto hard times, and it's okay. As long as you know that you want to fix the situation that you're in, to place yourself in a better position. That's just my motto about it.
So let me ask you a personal question about these credit bureaus. Do you believe that the credit bureaus are a dishonest conspiracy to keep interest rates high and credit scores low?
Absolutely. I don't think the credit bureaus are our friends
Okay.
at all. It's more of a money making business for the credit bureaus. So when I mentioned to you the credit reports being combined, then they won't go out of their way to fix it. The information on there impacts your score severely, and you fall into a subprime category. Once you fall into that subprime category, you are now bait to creditors, because what happens is your score is so low, you try to go out and get credit cards, you get rejected, you get denied, and then all of a sudden you see these credit card offers that are coming in through the mail, and you go and you apply for them and you say, yes, I got accepted for a card finally. But what happens is you're getting hit with so much of the interest rates that they offer you that you're paying triple of what you should be paying because your score is so bad. So how it works is that the credit bureaus sell your information to creditors. Those creditors target you by sending you mail at home. You then apply, you now have a card, but now you have triple the interest rate on top of that.
Yes, that is a clear trap. Clear trap. And they prey on people
Absolutely.
with those low numbers. Again, how can someone improve their credit score?
So each plan is specific to a person. Someone can be going through bankruptcy. Someone can only maybe have 3 items on their credit report and need more, items placed on there.
How quick can someone improve their credit if they follow one of your plans? Like, what do you have available for the community?
So what I want to tell people, that repairing your credit is not a quick fix.
Okay.
Think about how long it's taken you to obtain that bad credit. So that's years and years. So I would say give the process 3 to 6 months before you start to see your results. And
That's not a long time.
it's not a long time, but that's what I'm saying. Given the amount of time that you've built up these habits, years. So I would say give it 3 to 6 months before you start to see some progress in getting your reports cleared up. But my service is what I do provide. You just have to sit and have a consultation with me, and at that point we come up with a clear teamwork plan strategically on how we're going to tackle some of these issues. Like I said, everyone's different.
Sure.
Every case is different. So I don't want to say this is how I do this is how I do that, because not everything's the same.
Okay.
Some people can have about 15 accounts on their report. Some may have 3 accounts on their report. So someone may be dealing with late payments. Someone just need more accounts on their credit reports. So
But someone can need more accounts on their credit?
absolutely. This system of credit is not for us. We were born to be in debt.
Okay.
And when I say that is, you cannot go through life without credit. You cannot go through life without a credit card. You cannot go through life without someone pulling your credit score. If you are a millionaire and you pay for everything cash, then you're set. You don't need credit repair services. But for the average everyday worker, we were born to obtain debt. There's no easy way around it. Think about it. When you're born and you know you're going to go to college, you're already trapped into this system that you're going to go to college and you're going to be already in debt a couple $1,000s. So how do we get around that? You really can't. So
Wow, that's pretty powerful. This credit system was not designed for us. I like that. That has a catch. And that could probably open up some, wake people up to understand what's really going on in this system, in this world. What is the most satisfying aspect you can get out of the credit clinic?
for myself or for the customers?
Well, let's go with both. Let's start with you. Let's start with the customer. Yeah, for both.
I think for myself, knowing that people have been stuck for such a long time and didn't know that there's a way out. And for me, I get gratification knowing that the results happen and these families now can move on, meaning they can purchase this house that they've always wanted. They can have this backyard so that the children can run around, or get this car so they can travel to and from work or pick their kids up, or going on a vacation. So my satisfaction is when someone says, "Oh my God, Natalie, thank you so much. This has helped me so much. You'd never know how much you changed my life."
Wow.
That
Yeah.
is what gives me that gratification, to let me feel like I'm doing something right. That's all I need.
Wow. What do you think they'll satisfy for the customer? Just being able to get.
They have good credit.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Yeah.
can do what they want now.
They
I
do.
wouldn't say go back in debt once you fix your credit, but
Have you encountered that?
Yeah.
Someone who
Yeah.
you've worked hard and they don't listen.
It happens, and
Yeah.
it's I guess it's more out of habit. So my goal is to coach, to say, this is a bad habit that you have. Let's work on this. So I'm giving them a plan on how to work on it. So for example, if I'm working with someone that's consistently having late payments, my goal now is to target, why are you always so late? Could it be is that your mind isn't focused on your payment date? Let's set up reminders in your calendar. Let's, come up with automated withdrawals coming out of your account. So I don't just deal with the credit part of it. I deal with the issues as to why and how they got there in the first place.
Very important. That counseling, that post credit counseling is even more important than just straighten out the credit. Because again, someone could just the bad habits and just get right back in. They need you again, but you offer. So is that like something separate from the credit counseling
No.
services? How long do you work with individuals after their credit is sort of where they want it?
I let them go.
Okay.
It's not, I don't hold anyone hostage. So
Okay.
my deal is, if I'm working with them and they already see the benefits and this is where they want to stop, that's where we stop.
Okay.
I don't force anyone into a contract that they have to stay 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. That's not what I do. I want you to come to me because you're comfortable. I want you to be able to be done when you're ready to be done.
Okay.
So
Now, do you have a website address?
I do.
Okay.
It's www.creditclinic.com.
Okay. Is there and a phone number or a business number that you have for them?
Yes, it's 800-279-8773.
And Natalie Brown, yes, I'm so glad you came out to see us today,
Thank
Natalie.
you.
I think this is one of the best shows that we've had, because people will see differences in this, and this is what they need, and especially in these communities. This is local access, so people are watching this in Springfield, and I know, like, again, I don't have A1 credit, so I'm looking to get some of your services as well. So maybe you should give her Natalie Brown a call. Her website address is right below me, right here. Get on the website, look her up, give her a call. And Natalie, I want to thank you for coming to the Good News Theater.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that information. Is there anything coming up that you're going to be speaking at, Natalie?
Yes, there is a luncheon that I will be speaking at. I was actually asked to be a guest speaker. It's an event that's going to be held here in Springfield. And it's a Hatitude. It's a fun event, but they also do have a keynote speaker. But at that point, I will be discussing some of my services and letting the people know a little bit about credit so they have a better understanding as well.
You said Hatitude? Is that like a hat you put on?
Yes.
Okay.
It's going to be a fun event because
Sure.
you get to wear a bunch of different hats, and at the end of it, it's a contest to see who has the best hat. So it's going to be a fun event.
Maybe we should show up on Sunday at the Church of God in Christ.
Yeah.
Because, them mothers be wearing them hats for it.
Yes,
They really do.
They know how to wear them.
Yeah.
I was one of them back in the day, too.
Yeah,
so,
you were? Okay, that's awesome. Well, once again, I want to thank you for coming to the Good News Theater. You were awesome. And you should be getting, some responses from some of the viewers here. Again, once again, her email address is right here below me. Please give her a call. Look at your credit. Credit is very, very important. I know that. You know that. You know that now if you didn't know it. And take a look at your credit score. I want to thank you again for joining me, Paris Dobbins, your host, at the Good News Theater. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, my name is Paris Dobbins, and I am your host on the Good News Theater. Please join me every Sunday evening at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as I bring to you people of our community who offers pro bono services you need to know about. I am proud to showcase these professionals on the Good News Theater. And don't forget, check out our YouTube channel where you can receive more interviews, more updates, and how you can become a guest on our show and or refer someone to become a guest. And one more thing, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Okay, thank you, and we'll see you there.